What's going on, everybody? David Barnett here of the Tour Junkies. I got Pat Perry with me, also of the Tour Junkies, at least for now. We are Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings. And if you're wondering why in the world we're doing a video this week, because there is no DFS for the PGA Tour, it's because we really have nothing else better to do at Tour Junkies headquarters. We feel lost without doing the Tour Junkies After Dark show. And, we thought to ourselves, hey, the Zurich Classic is available and the DraftKings Sportsbook is available. And DraftKings Sportsbook happens to offer some bets, if you fancy, for the Zurich Classic. So we thought maybe we'd talk a little bit about that. But, yeah, how's it going, Pat? You doing all right, buddy?
I'm good. Let's just be honest. You really missed my face. You really wanted to see me. By the way, why in the opening did you say I was part of the Tour Junkies for now? Like, what does that mean?
You just never know. You never know. There's a lot of possibilities with you. Okay. It could be something that you do that just deserves you being kicked off the island, or it could be something that you do that causes you to die, or like.
I was about to say, so you're like I could die. Is that like
you could
die soon?
Yeah, you could. 100%, about 100% of people end up dying. So I think at some point you're there.
Yeah.
That's the latest statistic. But yeah, so we're coming off the Heritage Classic. Props to you. I know you picked up on a little CT Pan action live after round 3. You touted him on Twitter at 28-1. Listen, if you guys aren't following us on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing with your life. We're informative on Twitter. And entertaining. Mostly entertaining, but occasionally informative, like Pat telling you to hit that CT Pan action at 28-1. He's coming off the victory at the Heritage.
Good stuff.
So good stuff for you. We've had some good picks this year. Just year in review. On DFS alone, we've had listeners that have tweeted us that have won over $1 million this year. We had a listener win $200,000 for the Masters. So, you guys pay attention. Follow us on Twitter at Tour_Junkies or on Instagram. If you follow us on Instagram, you're not as likely to get real informative content, but more so just Tour Junkies in the raw, in the flesh. A little bit of personal lives of mainly me, because Pat doesn't know how to log on to Instagram. So there you go. You ready to get rocking and rolling here, Pat?
I am. I'm ready to go for the Zurich Classic. This is I've been excited all year for this one.
Yeah. Now, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the Zurich Classic, the golf course, the format, and maybe folks who could be new to this, kind of what to expect this week.
Yeah, so, we were talking about the show tonight. By the way, we don't get to argue that much because we don't have a podcast that we're arguing about. But I'm going to argue about this because I don't really. I'll talk about the course, but whatever. Who cares? It's freaking alternate shot 2 days and best ball 2 days. The course really doesn't matter, I don't really think, but whatever. It's TPC Louisiana this week, 7,400 yards, par 72. I will say this, all the par 5s out here are gettable, and this is a scoring course. This is one of those courses on tour that before they switched to the team format, that players went nuts out here. So I guess I'll give you that. You do want some scores. But if you look at the last couple champs here as far as the teams are concerned, it wasn't like your bombers. These were your ball strikers, your guys who were just good playing together. So there's a little bit of randomness here when it comes to picking your team. But like I mentioned, you've got best ball format Thursday and Saturday. You've got alternate shot on Friday and the final round on Sunday with a cut, by the way, after 36 holes on Friday, and the top 35 teams make the cut. So there's 80 teams. Top 35 are going to make the cut. For me, I'm looking at guys that have played well together maybe here in the past, guys that seem to maybe be friends. They're not going to be piss each other when they put somebody else behind a tree or in the water, an alternate shot. That's the key. I don't really care about best ball as much as I do alternate shot. That's what I worry about the most. So I want guys who maybe I feel like are going to gel, pretty well together, or they have the right games that sort of the yin, the yang, that kind of thing. That's sort of what I'm looking at, but I don't know. It's going to be a crapshoot. By the way, I'm not going as far as odds are concerned, I'm not taking any of the favorites.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think you hit the nail on the head here. We talked about golf being variable to begin with, and all the randomness that's involved in it. With the randomness of an event like this, that is kind of a bogus event. I mean, guys do get FedEx Cup points. Guys do win some good money here. No official world ranking points awarded at this event. But obviously, you're kind of sharing everything. Like, I could see some guys that are here, just big names, especially because they feel like they have to be here or because they think it would be kind of fun. But, you know, the fact is, this event's it's almost an exhibition event. It feels like an exhibition event. So the randomness here is absolutely in play. And when you talk about best ball and you talk about alternate shot, it adds so much variability to it. I mean, first year they did this, freaking Jonas Blixt won the thing with Cam Smith. I mean, the guy's he's a cuss word dumpster, literal walking dumpster fire of a PGA Tour player.
Rode the coattails of Cam
won the
Smith.
event. Yeah, he won the thing. So there's a lot to be said for chemistry, like Pat talked about. For the skill sets lining up, for motivation. Like, there's a lot to be said for that, and I agree. Like, for that reason, I like a lot of long shots here, and especially in an 80 team event with a lot of variability. I got a couple teams here I got a team at 250 to 1, 100 to 1, 90 to 1. We're going to talk about here in a second. You got 80 teams. Like, these guys could easily win this thing. So I think you're getting a lot of value on the sports books if you play in that long to mid-level odds. And also, if you're looking at live bets after the cut Friday, I mean, if you got teams near the bottom that are getting longer odds after Friday that at least have a chance to come back, I mean, that's something I would definitely like to see. I mean, we know in best ball that you got to score. Best ball is when you got to make birdies. Alternate shot a lot of times can be tough. You can even see scores over par in alternate shot. So you got to get some guys who can score in that best ball side and guys who can handle each other in the alternate shot. It's kind of funny. Myself and Pat are about to play in Pat's member guest next week, and there will be best ball and maybe alternate shot. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. Like, you and I are actually terrible partners for each other. Like, our games are nothing alike.
We probably are, yeah.
We fight like a married couple. There's really no reason we should be playing together. And you're coming to my member guest in June, so it's really kind of ridiculous. I don't know. If you guys want to invest in the Calcutta in our member guest, DM us, let us know. But I think that's important to know for this week, for sure. Let's look at some longer shots here.
Yeah,
that sound good?
I'm with you. Although I do have,
I got a couple shorties.
Where I'll start with the shorties. And that's going to be the team that almost won it a couple years ago with Kiz and Brown. I mean, these 100%. Are two guys that have played together their entire life. They know their games better than anybody else. And so I think when you get them at 33 to 1, I'm okay with that. As a matter of fact, I feel like it probably could have been, maybe in that 20 to 1 range for those two guys, 25 to 1. But so I like some Kiz and Brown. And then another one I'll give you. This is like the ball strikers just dream team right here. They probably can't putt all that much, but you got some Lucas Glover and Ches Reavie at 33 to 1. I think that's another good, just solid team of guys that are going to do well on this Pete Dye design. Maybe not, they're not, your tremendous scorers, but I think they'll be a good kind of, good team type guys, whatever. So those are probably the shortest odds I'll go, is those two teams at 33 to 1.
Well, I'm in 100% agreement with you on Kiz and Brownie. We have heard tour players, we've heard multiple sources tell us that when Brownie and Kiz play a Tuesday match, they very rarely lose against the best competition on the PGA Tour on Tuesdays. There's just something about those two when they play together. They were in the playoff here 2 years ago, lost to Jonas Blixt. They're as competitive as they get. Kiz, we just saw him dominate match play in Houston a couple weeks ago, or Dallas, or Austin, good Lord. One of those places in Texas. So they love match play. They soak this up. I think this is a great spot for them at 33 to 1. I have another 33 to 1.
Unfortunately, it's not match play. But
no, but I'm saying like just that team vibe. Like I don't know.
Yeah, the team vibe. No, I hear you.
I'm saying he's in good form. He's in good form. He won the match play, 21st at the Masters. Okay. I have another team at 33-1. I don't really like your Glover Shestickle team, but I do like.
I thought you were going to like that team. I'm surprised. I was like, David's going to love that team.
I like the long hitting team and scoring team and fellow Espanol speaking team of Abraham Answer and Johnny Vegas. Yeah, I like those two guys. I think that's an interesting team. Those guys can both go really low. They can take advantage of the par fives. They can get hot. They can speak in Spanish to each other. I think that's good stuff to have at 33-1.
It's good that they can speak the same language.
Yeah,
it's always nice. You know, when you have a part. It'd be tough if you had a part like you and I spoke different languages. It'd be like
sometimes I think really we do. Sometimes I think we do.
We might.
Going up at 66-1. This is a team that I know. I feel like I know where you're going here. They like each other a lot. We've had half of this team on the Tour Junkies podcast before. Trey Mullinax and Scott Stallings at 66-1. So Stallings calls Trey Mullinax like his what does he call him? It's like he has a pet name for Trey. It's like Trey's like his little brother, is what he says.
He's like his little brother. He's like his little brother.
They're coached by the same coach, Scott Hamilton. They practice together a lot. They play together a lot. They're good buddies. A lot of good chemistry here. And both of them playing actually pretty well. Both of them had a pretty good week at the Heritage this past week. I could see this team going low for sure. Mullinax can definitely get hot and make a lot of birdies. And Scott really doesn't get you in trouble a whole lot. So I think 66-1 is going to take some of my money for sure.
I love that play. I think that's one of the better plays out there. I had it written down as well. And look, I think their games sort of, fit together. You know, Mullinax is obviously, very long off the tee, but then you got a guy like Stallings who's really good with his wedges, things like that. So, I think they fit well together. So I really like that team. Also, a little bit shorter than that. I'm okay with some Charlie Hoffman and Nick Watney at 50-1. I think that could be an interesting play as well. We've seen Hoffman playing very well this year, and Watney's been okay. I think they're going to be a good team, so I like that at 50-1. Let's get into these longer shots. Though.
Yeah, I can't get off of. I try to talk myself out of this one, but at 90-1, Sam Burns and Cameron Champ, the scoring ability and the firepower of those two guys is too attractive at 90-1 in a field of 80. You have a PGA Tour winner in Cam Champ. You have Sam Burns, who's been very close to winning on the PGA Tour, including made a run this past week at the Heritage. Both hit the ball a long way. Both can score and get super hot. Now, Cam Champ's coming off an injury. He just played his first event back from an injury at the Heritage at a golf course that was not fit for him.
Not fit for him.
And
he did miss the cut terribly.
He trunk slammed. Yeah, he trunk slammed on Friday. But again, like 90-1, you throw a small unit, a little P unit on that thing, and let it ride. Because I just think those boys can get too hot. It's too hot to pass up. So that's my last team in the double digits, 90-1. I have two more teams in the triple digits. So you ready to get us started?
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to give you a couple here. By the way, I'm going to have to go with the old guys. I'm going to go with some Stricker and Jerry Kelly at 125-1
Good God, Jerry Kelly on this golf course at 7,400 yards.
He's going to have
he arrives to the course with a walker, like the ones with tennis balls on the bottom.
Kiz and Brown almost won this tournament 2 years ago.
Kiz can outdrive Jerry Kelly by a freaking mile.
I'm just telling you.
I
did say that because I knew you were going to hate that pick.
Jerry Kelly and Steve Stricker don't make the cut. I can tell you that. Jerry Kelly and Steve Stricker don't make the cut.
I bet they do. I bet they all guys represent.
They don't have the firepower. You just talked about how amazing this golf course is in terms of like scoring potential and scoring ability. Steve Stricker himself he's a good golfer. He's a really good golfer. He can compete on a lot of PGA Tour events, but not on a course like this. And damn sure Jerry Kelly can't.
Do you want to make a bet that they make the cut?
you got to give me some odds. I mean, it's an 80-man field. Like, what do you want? Like,
I don't know. We usually our bets are like having to do some stupid thing or not.
Yeah, I would love to do that. But
so we'll come out with that later after the show. We'll come up with that.
Okay. I don't think they make the cut.
I bet they make the cut. I bet they do. Let's see. You go, and then I'll come up with my last one.
All right, I got two more. 100-1. Max Homa and Andrew Putnam. I like this team. Homa's had an okay year. He's not really crushed it anywhere, but he's also not completely crapped all over himself. He's a solid player, good ball striker, young player. Andrew Putnam was having a great early part of the season. We've seen him kind of tail off a little bit here lately, but I think those are two young players that I could see make a run. Those are two guys who are going to care a lot about this event, and this event is going to mean a lot to them in terms of status moving forward, things like that. They're going to want to show up here. This is not just a little outing, like a Brooks Koepka take my brother Chase along for the ride outing. It's not like that. So
yeah,
I like Homa and Putnam at 100-1. And finally, I'll give you my final play. This was a big number. This team got in at the very last minute at 250-1. Hank Lebioda and Curtis Luck. Now, we've actually talked about Hank Lebioda on this here show. We actually won you some money on him on a top 20 bet just a couple of weeks ago. Lebioda's a rookie on tour, hits the ball a long way, a lefty out of Florida State University. Good ball striker, can score on par fives, good short game. And Curtis Luck, both of these guys, Curtis Luck, Australian, another good ball striker, can score, has flashed on some PGA Tour events, been on the leaderboard come Sunday at a lot of PGA Tour events in the last couple of years. These two guys like each other. They play together at home, and they can get really hot. At 250-1, I love this team. I also like this team for... I found a first-round leader bet at 100-1 on DraftKings. Best ball, you do not need to make a first-round leader bet on a team like a Jerry Kelly and a Steve Stricker. Okay, you just don't. You need to make a first-round leader bet on a team that can go stupid mentally low and just get raging hot and make birdies all over the golf course. Now, they may suck the next day. They may suck the next 3 days. But you need a team of two guys who can just get mental and make birdie after birdie after birdie. And Curtis Luck and Hank Lebioda at 100-1 is about as strong a bet in terms of value as I think you could offer. So I love those guys to win and a first-time leader bet.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I think those are two guys that they got in late, like you said, and I think it's a great play. I think they're mispriced for sure as far as the odds are concerned. Probably, maybe the DK folks don't quite know what to do with that team since they got in last minute, but I think those are really good odds.
Yeah,
I like the Tom Lovelady, Harold Varner the third at 175-1.
Yeah.
I think those are two guys, solid players on tour. Harold's won us some money as far as some first round leader bets this year. He's definitely a scorer. If he gets hot, I could see them, getting into contention come Sunday, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think at 175-1 is certainly worth putting a little small unit on.
Fantastic, Pat. Well, is there anything else you need to get off your chest this lovely evening as we look ahead to the Zurich Classic?
That's it. Excited
awesome.
about the Zurich Classic, and just at least get a little action this week as far as some bets are concerned. So it's nice having a little week off from the podcast. So
yeah. After this, we've got the Wells Fargo Championship from Quail Hollow, North Carolina, and Charlotte. That's going to be a good one. We'll be back for that, and then we kind of get into this run. We don't have any weeks off. No weeks off. So it'll be that, and then you'll have the PGA in May, the U.S. Open in June, the Open Championship in July, the FedEx Cup playoffs in August. So we'll be rocking and rolling. Keep coming back. Give us a thumbs up on the video if you like it. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. All that good stuff. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for following along. Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings. May your sportsbook screens be green? I don't know. See ya.
Out.